So in this module, like I'll present like Apache Beam for data engineering. So like I have created few of the sample demo projects like using the D3 and Switchware and Apache Beam Kafka and like how Apache Beam works inside. So let's go to the one of the projects. Like the assignment one is to do complete a data set which using preferably D3 visualizations and fix a complex data set and perform EDA for that. And like here uh, I have uploaded a data set for that, and I have uploaded my username and JSON key and importing the Kaggle. So I'm using a world happiness data set. So here what I will conduct is I'll perform in-depth exploratory data analysis in the for the world happiness data center, like using various data visualization techniques like a tool such as MATLAB, Lib, Seaborn, and D3 interactive visualizations. So here like for this data set I explicitly targeted for 2019 world happiness report, and like along with that like I mainly categorize this data into very happy and unhappy categories. The first set of visualization is to include a box plot and distributor plots according to the spread of like how scores and everything is done. So here the GDP and social support, lifestyle and expense are the my columns for this data set, and here are the like many examples I displayed you like using the box plot chart, and the here is a bar plot chart and distribution of happiness score like across the one, and here is a GDP social support wise like per capita GDP, and here is the scatter plot for that, and these are the basic visualizations of the plots. And here I created a like using the d3.js like including HTML files where I created a bar chart like we displayed the happiness of the score like overall the ranking perspective. And the next one is by creating an interactive scatter plot for GDP per capita versus happiness score. And the third one is about the bubble chart where this is the bubble chart visualizes the relationship between happiness and GDP per capita population size one. And at the final like here this is the something I tried, and finally like I displayed the world map showing happiness score across the countries, like colored them via like happiness score. But here like the color has rerun, like I had to rerun again to perform all at once. So here is a interactive uses of experience like how the world happiness report is displayed on a large scale data. So this is about a one experience I start, and the next project is on assignment is an auto EDA with a favorite tool. Like either we can use any of the tools, like with our own data set we need to show the presentation out of for Switzer Viz. So for Switzer first we need to import a Kaggle one data set for this project. Like I'll automatically explore the analysis of EDA. I'll use a I'll use the normal data set of New York City Airbnb data set for using Switzy library to generate visualization appearing and comprehensive insights. So I began downloading the dataset from Kaggle, from loading the pandas and datasets and other examples. Here are the installation of the Switzies and the Kaggle. So once the Kaggle is installed, I'll read the data and I unzip the data and here is a visualization of the data, and I imported the SWSV and generated the reports for that, and by property one. And here is properties I can see is a neighbor and other things like neighbor prototypes and pricing and availables on the target one. So once it will create a nice charts and everything plotting for us, like from the collab only we can download the SWSV file. So for SweetWiz, here is the examples. Like here we can see the various disciplinary status of like generating a detailed report that converts the various aspects of our data, including disparity statistics and visualization and target analysis. Finally, this is the HTML report that we exposed from the data set I shared above. So here is the ID, host name, host neighbor, and then neighbor groups, like how many percentage of the neighbor groups and etc. Like here we can see, and pair in a large scale we can see, and most string rate versus small values. So it's the HTML file that gives generated from here. So these two are the first two assignments, and for third assignment, like here is the Apache Beam features. Like we need to demonstrate the composite transform pipeline, IO on triggered and Windows paradigms, streaming, etc. So here, like I performed the things for all these five, and for streaming I went with Visual Studio. So here is the demo for that, and yeah. So this is the demo where like I'll be covering the basic 1 minute or something. Like here is the installation of Apache Beam and GCP one. Here is the one, like I gave the I created a normal input file, and these are the my input file text in that. Like I have one file in that, like I have these like a text in that. So here I have fed as an input file, and uh, in that input file.txt, these are the files like available in that. So once that's done, then I need to perform a basic example. So for the basic example, to start, I demonstrate basic Apache Beam pipeline uh, that reads a simple data set, applies the transformations and output the results. Base set of fundamentals are understood as a core Apache Beam concepts. So here is the composite terms. For the composite term, like how the composite term that compiles some multiple transforms into a single unit, and here is example for that. And this is a simple file that I created as a input that will be fed into that. And once the input is created, then we need to go for the pipeline IO. For pipeline IO, like I showed like how to read a file from external sources, like text files, and so other pipelines. So here like we route output for another file. This feature is essential for integrating the data from various input and output systems. So once that's done, then we'll move to the triggering and windows. For the triggering and windows, for triggering and windows section, like I demonstrate like how to handle that real-time data streaming by dividing them into the time-based windows by using the triggers to control whether the result are eliminated either based on the time or element count. So here is the based upon the element count, and there is a window for that. And at the last, Pardo transform. So finally, like here in the Pardo transform, which allows the more complex operations by processing the individual elements, like using custom logics. Like in this transformation, like highly flexible for advanced data manipulation. Like here I demonstrated like all five uh, composite transform pipeline and triggers. Like for streaming, like I'll perform in a VS code. For that, like this is the code like I generated for the Kafka thing. Like I'll walk you through like one by one, but like the pipeline continuously process with incoming data, and the Kafka input topics like applies transformation, and the writes a results, and that as an output topic. Like demonstrating this powerful real time is called as data streaming. So once the data streaming is done, like explaining the file, that is by reading a file from the Kafka and writing a file. So these two are the different files, and this creates a beam pipeline, this comment. And here is the options to enable the streaming mode. And like here is a bootstrap service that runs a localhost 9092, and here is like information for us. And once it's done, then we need to run the Kafka based upon the things. Like here is a zookeeper, that zookeeper using the setup and to handle message insights and output. This pipeline reads like your input file and your output file. Once it's done, then we move to the input file format. So for the input file, we need to give a topic and other things. So for like here is the like input file, like after reading. So here I gave as the input allow Kafka and Apache Beam streaming one. So here I verified whether the input file is created or not. So here I can see it's verified, and here I can see the output of that. So here it's the Kafka is working fine and it's catching the properly. So here like input on output messages are proceed immediately. They're writing the output topic, whether we can see the transform message in the real time. And in the conclusion, this showcase is a simple one. So here is a as a input I write the Kafka features here, like as a text, and it permits the same text as a result. So this version is the called Kafka streaming. So this completes like entire models of ours. So yeah, thank you.